Okay, so I definitely want to be respectful of everybody's time. So we'll let the folks filter in here as we get started. They're not going to miss anything crazy here in the first couple minutes, just some introductions and things like that. And then we'll get into the fun stuff here in about 5-10 minutes. But thank you everybody that is here. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be here. I think this will be very educational. It'll be very valuable to you. You're going to see the product Infor CloudSuite Industrial today, which takes me into my next slide here. So we're just going to talk about the agenda. So I'm going to make a brief introduction to myself, some of the folks on this call, the product. Then we're going to go into the product and see that for a little bit. Then we're going to talk a little bit about deployment and implementation, because that's something that's very, very important when you're selecting an ERP. And then we're going to have some time at the end, 10 to 15 minutes to take any questions and answers. Right now, all of the microphones are on mute. You can throw questions in the Q&A or the chat, whichever button you'd like to pick, and we will definitely address those at the end. So a little bit about the folks on this call. David Trout, President of Solutions X. Brian Miller, he's our VP of Professional Services here at Solutions X. Myself, Robert Moratti, I am the Senior Account Manager here at Solutions X. Joey Himes, who will be the one giving the demonstration today, he's our Senior Solutions Consultant. And then Josh Walter, who is the regional VP of Channels at Infor. He is our right-hand man. He's the one that works every opportunity with us. He is the face of Infor for anyone that we work with. So a little bit of discussion on Solutions X, Infor, in case there's any confusion. So that picture that you see in the top of those three circles, that would be you. And the best thing is you're getting the best of both worlds. So Infor, they're focused on the software, inventors of the software, they support the software, they offer product features and future product development. And then Solutions X, we're the gold channel partner, so we're very customer focused. We handle everything from this process all the way through the implementation, then offer, application support and industry and software expertise. A little bit of background about Infor. Infor is based out of New York City. They're a $3 billion a year company with over 70,000 customers, 20,000 plus are being hosted in the cloud. They were actually recently named one of the leaders in small to medium-sized business manufacturing for ERP software. The reason why they got that recognition is because of their flagship product, and that's CloudSuite Industrial, which is what you're going to see today. A little more than 4 years ago, company Koch Industries, they made an initial investment into Infor and doubled down on that investment about 1.5 years or 2 years after that. And then in April of 2020, Koch fully acquired Infor, and Infor is now a wholly owned subsidiary of Koch Industries. It was one of the largest investments in software ever made, which is awesome, because now Infor is on a path to continued growth, having access and resources to the world's largest private company. So they have a long-term perspective right now that's in place through 2039 to just make this software even better than it is today, which is going to be tough to do. So we're very excited to see what they have in store for that. And then Solutions X, like I said, we are a 20-year-old company, veteran-owned company. We're a gold channel partner of Infor. We were recently named Growth Partner of the Year by Infor in 2022. Like I said before, we're a customer-focused company that handles everything from the entire sales process all the way through implementation. We offer best practices consulting after that. We've done 200 plus implementations, or CloudSuite Industrial projects is probably a better way to say that, with 100% success rate. And then we also have 100% customer retention. Those are two stats that we take very serious here. They're very important for you, the customer, because we know how important ERP software is to your business, and we all here at Solutions X come from manufacturing, or at one time even used this software in manufacturing. We know not one size fits all. We bring a flexible methodology to the table with many, many years of expertise to back it up. So when it comes to the arms industry specifically, not sure there's anyone else out there that knows it better than we do. We have many customers in this space. We know that 80% of your business needs will be met right out of the box. Functionality of CloudSuite Industrial. Maybe a small 15% of might have to be configured in a way. That's still out of the box functionality. We're not bolting on third party things or companies to make this software work, and that leaves the last 5% of a possibility of having to do that, but it's very rare. So we're very excited to show you this software today. Like I said, if we're going along, you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the Q&A or the chat, and we will definitely have time at the end to address those. So I'm gonna switch this over to Joey Himes now and let him take over, and he's gonna jump into the software and show you guys around a little bit, see how this software is one of the leaders in the space. So Joey, I'll hand it over to you. You're on mute there, Joey. There you go.
There we go. Let's get the mute taken care of, and excited to be here today with you to just show you a little bit about CloudSuite Industrial and how it can be a great fit for arms manufacturing. And so without further ado, I will shut my camera off and we will share screen and get straight into the product. And here we are inside of CloudSuite Industrial. I am here on a purpose-built workspace that has been configured just for my needs today. And CloudSuite Industrial exists as a tool to empower you to get the information you need quickly and easily. You don't want to spend a lot of time digging for the information, and that's why we have these great workspaces that allow you to jump straight into the application and find the relevant information. I can see what's going on with my open orders right now. I've got a monitor that's watching and says, hey, I've got 66 late orders. I know I've got an action item I need to work on, and I can quickly jump from here straight into the system, review those orders. I can see key details like how am I doing in terms of my on-time delivery, partial versus full. I can see any tasks that happen to be assigned to me, and I can see right here that I've got an overdue task that's now been escalated because it's been sitting here for a long time. So I can manage by exception the business needs that we have throughout the organization. And I can see, for example, that this task is a workflow that's been routed through and it's sitting here waiting for me to take approval. Once I make that approval, I'm going to be able to advance that through and complete the task that's been assigned to me, but I have the visibility and the capability to control all of these details. Because Infor CloudSuite Industrial is an application that has been purpose-built, as Robert said, for manufacturers, whether that's engineered to order, configured to order, make to order, maybe you're just fully repetitive, anywhere in between or a mix thereof. We've got the tools available through our solution here. It's available with a lot of flexibility, allowing you to deploy in a multi-tenant cloud. If you have special circumstances where you need to be secured in a government cloud, we've got that option available as well. We can do on-premise, we can do the options of hybrid as well. So you're going to have the tools you need no matter where you go. Likewise, it's going to give you the support for multi-site, multi-language, multi-currency, whatever structure your organization has, we're going to be able to meet those needs because of the flexibility. And to kind of illustrate just how quickly you can see this flexibility, if I want to take a look at this and say, you know what, this on-time delivery, it's great, but I'm looking for something else. I want to make some quick adjustments to my workspace. With just a couple quick clicks, I'm into edit mode, and I can come down here and I can add additional widgets, and I'm going to get a full catalog of widgets available to me. All kinds of different tasks, widgets, options that I can bring into the system. So maybe I want to look for some additional information about orders. I can do a quick search, and right here I can see different options that I have. Maybe I can look at my order bookings for today. One click and I've added that onto my workspace, and I can, with a couple quick saves, we are here and ready to configure this widget. As I mentioned, we have the ability to support multi-site. So if I want to see what's going on in my Dallas location, I can do that. If I want to see what's going on in my Los Angeles location, I can do that. Maybe I need to see what's going on over in London. I can pull up any of the different views here and pull this information straight into the system. And there I've made a quick adjustment to my workspace. You can configure these workspaces to be available for any of your different users, set these up for groups within your organization, set up personalized workspaces to get you the information you need. And this is a full suite. The naming of this product, CloudSuite Industrial, is intentional. It gives you a full suite of unified tools to give you the resources needed to run a business in today's world. Whether that's a document management system. You can see up here, I've got this carousel of images that are sliding through here. This is actually showing me information from our document management system. A full, robust document management system that's going to allow us to track documents, associate those documents with information throughout the system. It's going to have the full revision tracking, so I can look over here to the history and I can see every time there was a change made to this particular document. If I choose to check this out, as soon as I do, we've immediately created a new revision of this document, and we're keeping track of all of that history. So imagine that this could be maybe your drawings, this could be technical documentation, it could be compliance documentation, it could be certificates for your customers or your suppliers, any type of information that you might need to keep a record of. You can create those documents here within the document management system, and you get a full audit trail of every change that's ever made to that document. So this is an image, but maybe it's a Word document and it gets revised. While it's checked out, no one else can be making changes to this because I've got that document checked out. But as soon as I check this back in, it's now available for others to use. And with just a couple quick clicks, I can revert to a past version of the document as well. So I say, yeah, I want to revert to this version. And just like that, it's going to update. We see the revision history keeps track of what's happened here. And give it just a second here, and that should load back up. And we'll see that now we're looking at that other version of this document that existed at another point in time. Quick and easy adjustments right here with a document management system as part of the solution. Not only that, you're going to have analytics right at your fingertips. We've got CloudSuite Analytics that's going to give you the ability to visualize and drill down into information throughout the system. So I'm looking here at our sales analysis. It's showing me what's going on. I can see that I've got my sales by product code, by product grouping, my finished goods sales looking pretty good. I can see sales versus COGS. If I want to drill down deeper into this with just a couple quick clicks, I'm now looking specifically at different items within that, and I can see the trend lines of what's happening for those specific items within that product category. Seeing the trend lines, seeing where things are going, what's happening with my margins, all of that information quickly and easily accessible. Again, part of the solution right out of the box. Not only are we going to have the ability to pull that kind of information in, but we have a solution that includes the support for all kinds of process automation. So we talked already about this task that's assigned to me and the workflows that exist. There's a full workflow engine at your fingertips, allowing you to get in and to manage workflows, define those unique to your business. So based on the rules you define, we want to route this through a series of approvals, maybe go to a second level of approval if necessary, handling any errors, notifying the appropriate parties, and you get to configure this in a no-code, low-code environment to make your business work the way you need it to work. We also have the ability to take a look at things that we call data flows. These data flows are going to allow us to do things like integration with key suppliers, key customers, or other resources outside of the Infor CloudSuite. Case in point, Orchid. I know that's a very relevant area for many in the arms manufacturing business, and so we have the ability to define all of the rules necessary to talk directly to Orchid. And this is a pre-built solution we have available for arms manufacturers right from Solutions X. It's going to handle all of that integration. You'll see this here in just a few minutes as we show you exactly how this works. But we've also got the ability to do digital assistant, some artificial intelligence. You can see over here a conversation I had with Coleman, our AI, and we can see exactly what's happened here. I've asked, how much time do I get off? It knows the right questions to ask to get me to a correct and valid answer. All of these tools available to you to integrate where you need to automate where you need to visualize and manage by exception where you need to. But the reality is, Infor CloudSuite Industrial, the heart of that system is what we call Syteline. Infor Syteline here is that hub. It's that place where all of the magic happens. And so we can take a look, for example, at the item master, where we get the opportunity to define the records that make up our particular environment. It's going to pull up the information about our product, what that looks like, how that's structured. And so we can see here various items that we have in our environment. Here's a 22 gauge lever action rifle. As I scroll through, I can see other resources that I have in the system as well. So maybe I want to take a look at this 12 gauge shotgun, and we can support those full multi-level bill of materials that you might have. So if I take a look at my engineering board, I'll be able to see and visualize exactly what that structure is, how this goes together. We can see all of the various sub-assemblies that make up this particular item, even multi-level, so that I can get down and see the individual components that go into that. Here's my recoil spring, as well as the guide bushing, other things that need to be included into my bill of manufacturing. And this is all going to really center around that key concept of order entry. We're in business to make money, and we do that by selling product. So if I take a look here at my customer orders, I can come in and actually we'll jump back over here to my homepage for just a second. And I've got my favorite customers pulled up here. And so maybe I want to take a look at Cabela's. They're one of my key contacts, and we're doing some business with them. So I can jump right over here. It's going to take me straight to a view that shows me what's going on with this customer, allowing me to interact with the solution. I take a look at my customer orders that are out here, and I can see exactly what's going on. I happen to have an order here with some line level detail. They've ordered, looks like this might just be an initial test order. They've only ordered one of each of our 22 gauge rifle and one tactical assault rifle, one semi-automatic shotgun. Does that make sense? Is that right? Part of this solution, we've got the tools available to be able to create scenarios to limit what's going to happen with transactions. So if I were to come in here and create a brand new order, and let's just say I want to send this order to myself. I'm going to create a new order here. I'm going to send it right here to Joey Himes. It's going to pull this information up. I save my order, and I get ready to add a new line into this order. And the system's going to know as soon as I attempt to add in that tactical rifle, I'm going to attempt to make this purchase. And when I go to save this, I'm going to get a nice big warning here that says, hey, you know what? We've got the rules in place that says we can't ship to this location. Why is that? Well, if we happen to take a look at the details on this order, we'd find out that this is actually shipping to a PO box. And that's why we can come in and we can define sales restriction codes. For example, here we've got a sales restriction code that says we can only ship this to a physical address. We can't deliver this to PO boxes, and we can't deliver this to any military bases. And so we've got rules in place to prevent that. And when we look at the rules on the particular customer, we've defined for that customer, JCH1, my customer here, it happens to be a PO box. And so we're blocking that because we've made that association. We can come in and we can also associate key data points like the FFL number and the expiration date so that you can make sure that you're maintaining your compliance all the way through the process. Maybe you've got other scenarios where you're doing business with organizations that happen to be exempt from the FFL requirements, government exemptions, law enforcement exemptions, maybe you're doing business outside the US. And so there are things where you don't require those same level of requirements. And so you get to define what those different exempt transfer codes are. You get to set up your own sales restriction codes. You get to record all of the approved ATF types that you need to be reporting upon, so that throughout the process of your business, you are capturing all of the relevant information to make sure you are in compliance. If I back up here, close down a few things, we'll get back to that order and we'll say exactly what's going on with our order here for Cabela's. we can see if I jump into the line level detail that it happens to be that line 1, it's still in order state. Line 2, we've already filled that order. It's already shipped out. So we need to get something taken care of here. This is due tomorrow. We're projecting that we're going to be able to get this out tomorrow. And we have the ability to see real-time data in terms of our ability to fulfill an order. If I say get ATP, which means, hey, show me my ability to promise, can we actually meet that due date? And I take a look here at the plan detail, and it's going to tell me exactly where I should be sourcing this from. I happen to already have a job that's been released. It's out in the world, ready for transactions to occur so that I can actually satisfy this particular requirement. This job is due to complete by end of day tomorrow, which means I should be able to ship this out tomorrow and be on time. But if I had any delays, any issues, the system's going to quickly recognize that, and it will identify for me any bottlenecks that exist so that I can take the necessary actions to resolve those conflicts. So if I jump over, for example, here to FactoryTrack, FactoryTrack is a purpose-built interface designed just for your folks on the floor. You need to collect information from the manufacturing floor, get real-time reporting as things are transacting. So if I wanted to come in here and, for example, issue material, I need to keep track of all of those serialized components, all of the details of what's going into that finished good. I can come in here and I can do my job material issue. And, you know, I might just grab a scanner and I'm going to scan in that particular job number, pull that information up. It's going to quickly recognize this job. We're going to see all of the materials that are required and what the status is. How many do I need to issue? How many do I currently have available? And I can even see that, for example, in this case, I've got one that needs to have a serial assigned. So if I go through, let's just say we're going to issue all this material. I've confirmed all of this. I could go through, scan each one and validate. Lots of different options here. But let's confirm our serial number for this. The system's going to recognize the details here and see these are the available serial numbers I have. But again, I might just scan that serial number in and say, that's the one I need, confirm that serial number, and my serial tracking is going to be nice and simple all the way through. Couple quick clicks, and the material has been issued to the job, and we're able to then begin reporting activity against this job. Now, there's a pretty big bill, so it's going to take just a moment here to issue all of those materials out. But as soon as it's completed, we'll be able to then report completion of the actual finished unit, again, from this interface inside of FactoryTrack. Again, FactoryTrack, just another part of the suite, purpose-built to give you the resources you need that simplify the interface, get the relevant information to the people that need it in the way that they need to see it. And it's chewing through that. I apologize for the little delay here, but as it continues to work its way through that, we can jump back over here just for a moment and talk about what's going to happen with this particular order as we move forward. We will be able to complete this job. It's going to bring it into inventory. And as it does so, we're going to be able to feed that information directly over to Orchid. Through our integration with Orchid, we can see exactly what happens. So when we create a new item, we've created a new serialized item, we can report that information over, and it's going to give us a full audit log that tells us exactly what happened, where's it at, was it successful, was it not. We can see our transfers when we ship product out to other licensed providers, whether those are distributors or retailers. We can see all of that information as it moves through. Hopefully now we've got this complete. Looks like we have. Let's reopen that there. Apologize. Get back into FactoryTrack, finish up that job here. Open up our Work Center navigation home. Again, I can come in, I can authenticate as the actual employee using this. And so maybe right now I'm going to come in here and I'm Mr. David Daniels, and I can transact what I need to do. I'm going to just do a job move to report that my particular job has completed. Plug that detail in, confirm the operation. Might be multiple operations involved here, and we're going to complete the one that we need to produce here, put this straight into stock, and let's make sure we get our serial number. We can come in and the system can generate that serial number for us. So this is brand new creation. We've got a serial number. It's going to calculate what's that next serial number for us. It's automatically assigned that. And now we're ready to complete that transaction. And so just with a couple clicks here, we've now reported that. It's gone into inventory, and we are ready to now be able to fulfill that order. So again, back in the ERP system over in Syteline, we might choose to come in here and assign a new shipment here. So we'll just open up our order shipping, and we're going to grab our order here. Again, we can scan that order number in. It'll find the relevant information here, and it knows right now that I have the ability to ship line 1, quantity 1. Line 3 is still showing up here, but it's suggesting 0 because I don't have any inventory available to ship right now. I confirm which one I want to ship. I confirm that serial number and pull that information right into the system, select that, and with just a quick click, we've now shipped this product, and it's going to record the transfer over to our customer, to Cabela, all the way through the system. So if we come back over to our audit log, we should already see the system has recognized that completion. Here's that new serial number for that 22 gauge rifle that we completed, and that has synced over successfully to Orchid. And just here in another minute or two, based on the cycle, it should pull in our transfer success. But we've got an issue here. We failed to send this over because we have a expired FFL, and so we catch that information as we need to. And so if I were to just jump over here and take a look at what's happening inside of Orchid, I can see in my audit log on this side, the same information is going to be available. We'll just do a quick refresh of this page, and it's going to show us exactly that. We'll see the information that's come through. We can see what's happened with our transfer to Cabela's and information that's moved through here. And it's going to update that information near real time based on the rules and settings you put in place. All of this information is going to flow through to the key financial data that you need to have, whether that's looking at your accounting, AR, AP data. You're going to get the right GL information, and it's all going to be fed straight back into our CloudSuite Analytics so you can see that visualization of the information. You're going to see all of the pieces integrated all the way through, whether we're here on the item master and looking at relevant information here. Maybe we jump over to our quick resources and we can recognize that, for example, this 22 gauge rifle, it's got in context information here. Here's our exploded view of this rifle. But if I switch down and I were to look at maybe the one of the receivers for our tactical rifle, so we'll go grab that one down here from our list. Here's our lower receiver assembly for our tactical rifle, and the right information is displayed in context. All of the pieces of the suite talking together, working together to make sure that you have all of the information that you need. And the reality is, when you look at a solution like this, the key to a successful implementation of any data system is that implementation process. You've got all the tools at your disposal, a purpose-built solution made just for you that's going to have all of the functionality and technology you need. But here, with the few minutes that we have left, we're going to pass things over to Brian Miller, and he's going to share with us a little bit of information about what does that implementation process look like, what's deployment and implementation going to look like for you, and why would you work with Solutions X. So I'll stop the share here and I'll kick things over to Brian, and he'll take it from this for our next steps.
Thanks, Joey. Yeah, as Robert mentioned, I lead the services team here at Solutions X, and I'd like to talk just a little bit now about the implementation process. So, CSI is an excellent tool, as you've just seen. Joey gave you a great demonstration there. But like most things, it requires proper guidance to get the most out of it, right? Software will be the heart of your operations, and selection of the proper implementation partner is critical to that success. So you can buy the best software in the world, but if it's not implemented effectively, it can become a problem. So a little bit about the implementation team. They covered this a little bit earlier, but we're 100% domestic, so there's no regulatory issues or language barriers. We've been through hundreds of implementations, as Robert mentioned, a variety of applications, of course, but certainly some specific to your industry. If you add us all up, we've got over 150 years of application experience on staff. That's not folks that we bring in. That's our staff at SolutionsX, including the development resources. Right, you just saw some very cool things there that are industry specific, like the Orchid integration and some of the sales restrictions. That was all built in-house by our development staff. So, speaking to that experience, we've got firearms manufacturing. We've got a variety of customers there, but even more broadly, aerospace and defense experience, things like CMMC and ITAR, and then of course industries that support those areas like capital equipment, custom machining, and so many more. Right, we've seen it all. So, we know that implementation projects can be a bit daunting. So we focus on reducing those common risk factors, right? About 50% of projects risks involves scope and timeline. So defining those very clearly up front is an important first step. So internal support, all team members need support from their leadership as we work through these projects. We work closely with your team up front through the discovery stages to address this and ensure we have things like steering committees in place and that proper direction and prioritization is being provided towards the project. Partner expertise is obviously key, right? Specific to your industry. Missing on this can be an expensive mistake, whether it's regulatory knowledge, best practices for a specific industry or something else. The right partner makes all the difference. Next slide, please, Robert. So many implementation partners highlight their general product expertise, right? But we consider that a given, and that's just a small portion of the value we bring to your organization. So experience applying that knowledge is really the next level. We've been where you need to go, whether it be knowledge of ITAR, CMMC, Orchid, or other industry topics. We've been there and have done those things. That said, everybody has some uniqueness, call it that last 10% or last mile. That's where solutioning becomes a factor, right? The combination of experience and problem solving is really the key to success there. And lastly, you won't get anywhere really at all without the ability to work with everyone within the organization. The best laid plans can certainly falter if not effectively communicated. Next slide. Okay, so here's an example of the project team as we construct it. Notice that it's unified across software supplier with Infor, implementation team, of course that's us, and you, the end user group. It's a partnership on these projects amongst all three for the long term and includes both leadership and execution teams from all groups. As mentioned earlier, leadership and executive sponsorship is key to success. As the customer, you own the success of the project long term, and we're here to support that and get you across that finish line. Next slide, please. Okay, so here we have an example of an execution plan. It's typical of our product methodology. I won't get into the details of the different stages too deeply, but you can see we'll break down a bit here. We start off with project launch and discovery, and this is the planning component mentioned earlier to ensure that proper scope and timeline, because remember, that's where about 50% of risk is typically rooted. Beyond that, we then move on to process modeling and training, bringing your business and software into alignment. right? So that they're both used effectively and towards the same goal. You know, ensuring those requirements are met through best practice and not just bringing old habits forward. You know, we commonly see folks wanting to recreate legacy systems with a new tool, and certainly we need to avoid that. This is followed, once we get through the modeling and training, we follow that with a period of iterative testing and validation. And that's to ensure that the design that we've come up with suits the application. I mentioned that it's iterative because there's usually, you know, 3, maybe more versions of this where we're testing, reacting, testing, reacting to fine tune those processes to make sure we're successful down the road. Once we're through design and testing, then there's the last couple of phases are transition to go live, where we bring all of your data forward and cleansing it in the process and bringing it to a new state in the updated system, and then a period of system stabilization, you know, post go live. Typically, there's a hypercare period right after go live, and then that tapers off and typically wraps up with that first accounting period ending point. But from there forward, we determine what our relationship is going to be in the long term. We consider our customers as customers for life. Robert mentioned earlier that we have 100% retention, and we want to be there to suit your needs in the future. You know, as new requirements come about, software updates come along, we're here to help you in the long term. This has proven to be a recipe for success and has provided excellent results for our customer base for the last 20 years. All right, last slide. I encourage you to visit us at the SHOT Show next month in Vegas. Robert, Josh, and I will be out there, and we look forward to speaking with you about your projects in greater depth. And now we'll open up the floor for some questions if you have them. Joey, back to you.
All right, and what I'll actually do is I'll take it for 1 second here. Well, I'll actually open up some microphones here. If you guys want to jump in, I'll give everyone their microphones back. Please go ahead, take yourselves off mute, ask questions, provide feedback, whatever, you know, however you want to do it is fine with us. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions. So please feel free, jump off mute and ask away.
Okay, so we got a pretty quiet group here. So Joey must have done an excellent job of answering anyone's questions. If you're anything like me, once we get off the phone here, you'll think of a variety of things to ask, and feel free to reach out to Robert directly through his contact information you see on screen here.